learners, greetings of the day. Today, as we all know what is legal admissibility, privacy principles, and global cyber law, today we move into a deeper and often more complex area ethics and cyber forensics. So, let's start with ethical dilemmas in cyber forensics. Legal compliance is mandatory, but ethical responsibility goes beyond laws. Forensic professionals often face difficulty situations where legal authority, privacy rights and professional integrity and even the moral judgment intersects. This session explores those ethical dilemmas. So let's start with what is ethics in cyber forensics. Ethics refers to moral principles guiding professional conduct. In cyber forensics, ethics ensures that investigator acts with honesty, integrity and neutral and even professionalism is very important. Ethical practice builds trust in forensic evidences. Without ethical conduct, even legal admissible evidences may lose its credibility. So, in our next topic, we are going to talk about the difference between what is law and what is ethics. It is very important to differentiate that. Law defines minimum required behavior, whereas ethics define ideal professional behavior. Something may be legal but ethically questionable. For example, accessing irrelevant personal data during investigation may be technically lawful but ethically improper. Ethics fills the gap where law is silent. So, in our next topic, we are going to talk about some core ethical principles that we need to follow in our cyber forensics. Key ethical principles include integrity, objectivity, confidentiality, professional competence, and accountability. These principles guide forensic decision making. Moving forward to our next topic, which is on integrity and objectivity. Integrity means presenting findings honestly without manipulation. Objectivity means remaining neutral regardless of who hires you. Forensic professional must not alter findings to satisfy client, management or investigators. Evidence must speak for itself. Our next topic will be on the pressure from authorities or clients. One common ethical dilemma arises when authorities or corporate clients pressure the examiner to support a significant narrative. For example, management may want evidence framed to justify termination of an employee. The ethical duty of a forensic expert is to remain impartial. Professionals' credibility depends on independence. So, in our next topic, we are going to talk about selective reporting of the evidences. Another dilemma in selective reporting. Investigators may discover evidence that weakens the prosecution's case. Ethical practice requires full disclosure of relevant findings. Suppressing exclusionary evidences violates professional standards and may lead to wrongful outcomes. So, in our next topic is about privacy versus investigation needs. Forensic investigations often exposes private information unrelated to cases. Emails, photos, medical data, and personal conversations may be presented on seized evidences. The ethical dilemma is whether to examine everything or limit analysis to relevant materials. Respecting privacy even during lawful investigation is very essential. So, in our next topic, we're going to talk about over-collection of data. Modern forensic tools can extract entire device in minutes. But just because you can collect everything does not mean you should. Ethical investigator should follow the principles of data minimization. Collect what is necessary and relevant to the case. Next is about confidentiality of sensitive information. Forensic professionals often access highly sensitive information. This may include financial records, confidential business data, or personal communications. Maintaining confidentiality is an ethical obligation. Unauthorized disclosure of any data can cause serious harm. So, in our next topic, we're going to talk about the conflict of interest. A conflict of interest occurs when personal or professional interest affects professional judgment. For example, investigating a company where you have a personal relationship with the manager. Ethically, practice requires disclosure and its necessary withdrawal from the case. Next is about the competence and skill limitations. Another ethical dilemma arises when an examiner lacks technical expertise for a particular task. Accepting a case beyond one's competence can lead to error. Ethical responsibility requires continuous learning and acknowledging the limitations of the investigator. Our next topic is fabrication or manipulation of evidences. Altering timestamps, modifying logs, or manipulating recovered files is unethical and illegal. Even minor adjustments to clarify evidence can destroy credibility. Integrity is absolute. Next is about use of hacking. Technique in investigation. Sometimes investigators use aggressive techniques to recover data. Ethical dilemma. Does the end justify the means? Unauthorized hacking, even for investigation, can violate rights. Legal authorization must always be obtained. Our next topic is about handling child exploitation or disturbing contents. Certain investigation involves disturbing or illegal contents. Ethical handling includes limiting exposures, following legal reports, requirements, maintaining psychological well-being. Professionalism is must handle such materials with extreme care. Our next topic is about ethical testimony in the court. Ethical experts must testify truthful and clearly. Overstating certain or using exaggerated claims is unethical. Statements should reflect actual technical confidence data. Honest testimony builds long-term credibility. In our next topic, we're going to talk about some AI and automations in forensics. Modern tools use automations and AI. Blind reliance on automation outputs arises ethical concerns. Investigators must verify results independently. Responsibility cannot be transferred to software. Human intervention is very, very important. Now, next topic is data retention after case closure. What happens to the evidence after the case ends? Retaining unnecessary personal data may violate privacy norms. Secure disposal or controlled retention policies are ethically required once the case is finished. Next topic is on ethical codes and professional standards. Many professional bodies publish codes of ethics. These codes emphasize honesty, confidentiality, and competence. Following established professional standards strengthens trust in forensic science. In our next topic, we are going to talk about some real-world ethical cases. Example. Consider a corporate insider investigation. Management suspects an employee and pressure the examiner to incriminate evidences. The ethical choice is to present neutral findings, even if it is contradict to the expectations. Professional integrity must override external pressures. In our next topic, we are going to talk about the ethical decision-making frameworks. When facing an ethical dilemma, identify the stakeholders, evaluate legal obligations, consider professional code, assess consequences, close action that preserves integrity. Structured thinking reduces impulsive decisions. Now, moving forward, we're going to talk about the examination perspective. Now, in our next topic is about integrated understanding of ethical supports law. Law ensures admissibility. Forensics ensures truth. Without ethical conduct, the entire justice process is compromised. So, now it's time we summarize our today's session. To summarize, ethical dilemma are common in cyber forensic investigations. Integrity, objectivity, confidentiality are the core principles of any investigation when it comes to ethical dilemma. Privacy and investigative powers must be balanced. Professional credibility depends on ethical conducts. Cyber forensic is not just technical work, it is our responsibility. Thank you.